All right, let's be honest. We have all been there, totally lost, completely confused, trying to follow a set of directions that might as well be in another language. Giving good directions feels like it should be simple, right? But it's a real art form. So how does it go so wrong so often? Well, it usually starts with a classic and totally unhelpful phrase.
Yeah, you ask someone for help, and they hit you with this classic. They say it with so much confidence, pointing vaguely off into the distance, as if every single one of us was born with an internal compass.
Exactly. You just nod, say thanks, and then immediately pull out your phone. Because let's face it, north is just a concept. It's not a landmark. But hey, you are not alone in this. This is a universal frustration. And today, we're going to break down the science of why this happens and, more importantly, how to fix it for good.
So, here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll dig into why directions go wrong in the first place. Then, we'll dive into how your brain actually handles navigation. After that, the power of landmarks and the language of the map. And finally, we'll tie it all together with a super simple framework for giving perfect directions every time.
So, really? Why are we so bad at this sometimes? It's not just that people have a bad memory. The real culprit is this fascinating little glitch in our brains, a cognitive bias that affects all of us.
It's called the curse of knowledge, and it's a big one. See, when you know a route like the back of your hand, your brain finds it almost impossible to imagine what it's like not to know it. You totally forget about that tricky intersection, or that the street sign is faded, or that the old bakery you mentioned closed down 2 years ago. You just assume the map in your head is the same map in their head, and that is where all the confusion starts.
Okay, so to overcome that curse, we first have to understand the hidden science of how our brains even process space. And it turns out we navigate using two totally different internal systems.
So our brains have two modes for this. The first is the egocentric view. It's totally personal. Think turn at my street or it's on my left. It's all based on your perspective. The other is the allocentric view, which is objective. It uses a shared map, like cardinal directions or street names. The big mistake we make? We give egocentric directions to someone who desperately needs an allocentric map. The real key to great directions is bridging that gap.
So how do we build that bridge? Well, the single most powerful tool in your toolbox is the landmark. You gotta have landmarks. They are the anchor points that let someone build a reliable map in their head as they go.
But listen, not all landmarks are created equal. A great one has to be unique and permanent. A statue, not a random blue car that's going to drive away. It has to be visible right at the moment you need to make a decision. And maybe most importantly, it has to be super simple to describe.
Which brings us to this classic example of a truly terrible landmark. You're going to see a tree. Which tree? There are probably 50 trees on this street. Is it a big one, a small one? Do I turn before it, at it, or after it? This isn't helpful. It's just useless. It creates anxiety, not clarity.
Now, compare that to this. Wow, what a difference. A huge oak tree with a tire swing. That is unmistakable. It's unique, it's memorable. And the instruction, take an immediate right after you pass it, is a crystal clear, actionable command tied directly to that landmark. The person now knows exactly what to look for and exactly what to do. No guesswork. Okay, so you've picked out some great landmarks. Awesome. But how you connect them together is just as crucial. The words you use are literally what build the route in the listener's mind. The language itself becomes the map. Think about it. Vague phrases like, go down that way a bit, are subjective. I mean, what's a bit? But concrete terms like, continue straight for 3 blocks, are clear. Saying it's on my left is confusing because my left isn't their left, but it will be on your right shifts the perspective to them. When you're giving directions, precision is kindness. So let's put all of this together. Everything we've learned can really be boiled down to a simple 3-step framework. It's designed to beat the curse of knowledge and bridge that egocentric, allocentric gap every single time. First, you anchor the start. You have to make sure you're both beginning from the exact same point. Like, okay, so you're standing right in front of the post office, right? That immediately breaks the curse of knowledge. Second, you chain the landmarks. Give them just 2 or 3 distinct, memorable points in order. This builds that shared map, piece by piece. Finally, confirm the destination. Describe what the final place actually looks like. It's a red brick building with a big blue door, and then ask if it all makes sense. This makes sure the map in your head has been successfully transferred to theirs.
And look, remember, the whole point of this isn't to become a talking robot spitting out commands. It's a fundamentally human act of communication. What you're really doing is transferring your knowledge and your confidence to someone else,
helping them see the path in their own mind before they even take that first step.
Which leaves us with a final thought here. We all have GPS in our pockets now, right? A seemingly perfect navigator. So, does this skill even matter anymore? Is the ability to clearly guide another person from point A to point B about something more than just navigation? Maybe. Maybe it's about connection, about awareness of our surroundings, and about that simple human act of helping someone find their way.